Hi guys, part 2 of our plant identification walk. Thank you for tuning back in. Once again, do not eat any edible plants without consulting your doctor first. Yeah, has to be said. Let's go and see what we can find. And we're in the bottom of the creek bed in this video. We find fresh Cougar tracks, and we might or might not have captured anything on the trail cam. Let's see. Alright, so in the bottom of the creek bed here, and it's a lot of the snow down here. Come on Harley, come on. He's falling through the ice. There's a lot of snow down here because the sun doesn't hit down here very much, so yeah, a lot of it hasn't melted. But look at this cool plant that I found. This is a really good one, especially if you're in a survival situation down in this area right now where it's cold and there's a lot of snow, and you need to get a fire going. This is a good one, provided you got a ferro rod. Good tinder sauce, check it out. There's only 2 of these right next to me, but as you can see, as I'm shaking it, you see all the fluff that's coming off. So this is a cattail, and usually they'll grow in really big clusters. All of them are pretty much dead and dormant right now because it's winter, but this right here on the top of the cattail is what I'm looking for. Look at this, just falls apart. There we go, see all this goodness right here? This stuff here is so flammable, you just throw a spark in there and woo! Nice, glad we found that log to cross over. Come on boy! Oh. Come on! Come on! Alright, let's head down this way. Oh, I love these. This is curly dock. And these dock seeds in the winter that kind of dry up like this. This is a good survival food. There's a couple seeds right in there. And those seeds, if you winnow this and you get rid of the chaff, those seeds can be ground up into a powder and then made into mush cakes and kind of baked over a fire. Tastes great too. But I have also just taken them just straight like this and eat them raw. They're really good. It's good in the sense that there's no flavor. There's no bad flavor, there's no good flavor, it's just completely tasteless. But it is nutrition, and out here in the winter it's slim pickings. So anything that you can eat and anything that tastes half decent, take advantage of. Oh, look at these mountain lion tracks. Check that out. Oh, look at that. There's my hand, pretty big track. So mountain lions, typically it's a 4-inch track, which that's just about spot on. And how do I know that that's a mountain lion, not just a big domesticated dog? Well, first of all, I don't see any nails in the end there, nail marks. But second of all, if you draw a line between these 2 toes right here, it intersects the pad, as well as that in between these 2 ones here, intersects the pad. Cats have much bigger pads than dogs. So that right there is definitely a mountain lion. This is definitely today, probably even a couple of hours before we got here. So yeah, that's pretty exciting. So check it out, here he goes. Oh, there was 2 of them. You can see how close the stride is. That was definitely 2 of them walking in that direction. Cats directly register, so what they'll do is they'll put their front foot forward, and then the back leg directly behind that will step inside of that track, and it goes the same for both sides. So they'll actually walk inside of their tracks, and that's why it often might make it hard to identify the track, because you'll have 2 tracks that slightly overlap each other. But that's important to know with cats. Cats, dogs and deer, as far as I'm aware, they directly register, so they'll walk in their same tracks. that's what they've evolved to do, and I think it's a very good strategy to keep quiet, and that's kind of where I think that they why they developed that. And it's quite amazing when you see the deer walking around. I mean, they're just so quiet. It's amazing. I've just found cub tracks. That's freaking awesome. So look at the difference. There we go. Line between the two outer toes, directly into the pad. Same for the side, directly into the pad. Okay, there's Harley's track. Okay, so if I do a line between these two toes here, right on the edge of the pad. Same for here. If I do a line here, right on the edge of the pad. Notice how small his pad is. So that's a great example for you to compare the difference between identifying a dog and cat. Obviously the claw marks and then the size of the pad. Harley has just run around in this area. He's not comfortable with the scent of the mountain lions. I wouldn't be either if I was a little terrier. But he has now run over all the tracks, so I'm not able to identify how many cubs were here. But this is the beauty of tracking. Tracking tells us a story, right? It tells us a story of what's going on, the movement of the animals, what type of animals, how big, how small, how many. The snow tells you the story. Without the snow, tracking is a lot more difficult, and that's why I like to take advantage of the winter and get out there and see where the animals are moving. Here's another good food source, even in the winter, called wild rose. And these right here are the rose hips that grow on the wild rose. The rose hips are kind of like berries, and as you can see, they're very wilted up. So not in their prime right now, but most of the year these things will be growing and they'll be edible. Personally, I've eaten so many of them, I consider them a little more of a survival food. Just when you eat so much of one thing at certain times, it's just hard to swallow those things down anymore. But they are really nutritious. The only issue with them is that they have a lot of seeds inside. I recall the natives calling them something like itchy bum berries or something like that, because if you swallow too many of the seeds when you poop them out, you get itchy bum. I haven't experienced that, and I've swallowed quite a lot of seeds, but the seeds are a little overwhelming, so you tend to want to just eat the pulp from the outside and spit the seeds out. Nonetheless, you get vitamin C, you get some sugars out of them, so it is a great survival food. Yarrow can be identified by the lance-shaped feathery leaves that kind of look like a miniature fern leaf, as well as the white flowers, which tend to bud in late spring through the summer. These ones here do not have any flowers at the moment, but you can use the flowers and the leaves for the medicinal effects. The roots have a numbing effect, so chewing on them will relieve pain of the teeth or gums. The leaves and the flowers can be used as a poultice, or simply taken, mashed up, whether in your mouth or between your fingers or using two rocks, and applied to open wounds or made into a tea. Yarrow disinfects, it stops bleeding, it heals wounds, reduces fevers, and much more. I use yarrow a lot for colds and flu. I find it to work really well. The most well-renowned and effective part of this medicinal plant is its ability to clot blood. So you can literally take a bleeding traumatic wound and pack it full with yarrow, and it'll to absolute phenomenal effect. It'll stop bleeding but also promote healing. Yarrow is one that is very easy to identify and everybody should know about. For bleeding, for colds, for flu, yarrow is absolutely phenomenal. Alright, I got no choice now. I got to cross that river. So instead of risking getting my boots wet and my socks wet, I'm just going to take them off, strip down to the undies, and walk across. You might see my white legs. Sorry. Icy cold ground. Whoa! And that's it, folks. Thank you for tuning in, and thank you for the support. If you enjoyed the video, as always, please hit the like button, please hit the subscribe button if you'd like to learn more. And as I mentioned in the last video, www.bushsurvivaltraining.com. We offer online courses, field courses, and don't miss out on finding more on the upcoming October trip with the Hadza Bushmen. Adios.